who painted? Who changed the truth into the lie? Who taught people, especially brothers specifically, that they they were undesirable, they're ugly, that their list was big? Who taught them that? Who taught the little girls? You could see this. You could look up the experiment when they show the black girl. She's it's like she's presented with different baby dolls, and they say, which baby doll do you want? Which one is the ugly one? Which one is the pretty one? And she always goes to the dark skin when saying it's the ugly one. Yeah. Who taught them to hate themselves, man? Who did that? Bring it out.
It's the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, and verse 4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
Showing himself that he is God. Who's doing that, man? There's nobody else it wasn't the East Indian man that kind of made himself out to be God when it was alive, when that wasn't what the Bible said, that this wasn't what this was not the description of God, man. There's a certain man in the world that's doing that. It is nobody else but that man. So when he came over here into the so-called Americas, this is the image that he brought. And if you didn't get down with that plan, you were put to death.
Got a line.
This is, I mean, that's just history. Everybody knows it. We were all taught the same thing.
Got a line.
That was called conquistadors and what do they call them?
Puritans.
Puritans and something else, man. It was a word.
Colonizers.
Yeah, colonizers. They got a whole, like, depending on where you go in this land, they got different names, but they all did the same thing. Bring it out.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
There we go, man. And so they were described as the heathen. So now you know that they, in fact, are not God's chosen people as they like to present themselves to be. You get the beast whose deadly wound was healed, because they were brought down back in the day. So they were brought down when they say as Rome, because Rome was the final kingdom that was supposed to rule, right? And so it was Rome, and then it's gonna say his deadly wound was healed, because when Rome failed, the so-called they call them the Moors came into power. That's when you look into they don't like to admit this thing, but when you look into the old Britain and like all the Scots, all these things they like to say they were so great back in the day. When you look at their sigils, you'll see black faces that used to rule Europe. So it was not the so-called white men that built all those castles and things like that. Otherwise, they wouldn't have black sigils, black faces on their house sigils. Bring it out.
You want the head being, or you want the I'll read this one. This is the book of Revelation.
Yeah, bring it out.
The book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns and like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And he executed all the power of the first beast which was before him, and caused it the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
So that first beast was Rome, and then the same beast that came out of this thing that executes all the same power as the first beast is America.
Right.
If you look at all the laws of America, they have these weird Latin names, and that was the language of Rome. It was Latin. So this is
and then even when you look at like you would talk to like an economist or like people that study history, they'll literally tell you America is the revised Roman Empire. You ever heard that, like the revised Roman Empire?
Another portion that he's going into is called like the European Union, because that's going into the same power that he has. If you look at where Rome sat when he was at the height of his, what they call quote unquote height of his glory, you'll see that it ruled much of Europe. All these same lands that they ruled that the Europeans rule today, like Spain, Italy, France, all these lands are the same lands that Rome ruled.
They get too much power, bro.
So it execute the same.
Hey, remember I did say that though, because I said they got countries over, they have like little countries over in different continents and everything kind of weird. Like there's a York elsewhere, there's a Jersey
Yeah.
elsewhere. They
Oh,
came
yeah,
over here.
yeah.
You have New York,
Yeah.
New Jersey. Like they came here.
Yeah, that is correct. York is back over, back over there in
I
England.
didn't know the history.
They even called the eastern part New England. They call it New England,
when it
all
was,
of
when
it.
it was
Yep.
separated before the Civil War happened, you
They
had
called it New England.
Yeah, New
And I think
England.
some
We
people
were
are
at
still
war with
calling it
British.
England.
Yeah, some people still refer to it as that. That's why they have the football team.
Yeah, like
called
New England Patriots, yeah.
They got New England clam chowder. That comes from up over there.
Come
Like,
on, man. It's like the evidence is all out there, man.
Do that.
And so let's get. Can we get into how to the Jerusalem? How we know that they're not the children of God right now?
Luke.
Because God is supposed to deliver His people back into their own land, right? He said, "No man shall save you" back in the day.
Yeah.
So if there's the people are all scattered since the time of Rome,
Yeah.
how are they in the land? Let's see. What did Christ prophesy?
This is the book of St. Luke, chapter 21 and verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations.
Which is what we see today.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
So Jerusalem will be trodden down by the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled, until it's over for them. Because we know that. Can you get Esau is the end of the world?
And then I wanted to bring this too.
Okay.
All right, this is the verse Jeremiah 30 and 3. This is how we know that the Israelites have to be outside the land and can't already be there, because when Christ comes back, He has to bring them in. So this
that?
is the book of Jeremiah 30 and 3. It says, "For lo, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, saith Yahweh. And I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it."
So that's what it means by bringing again the captivity, bringing them out of captivity. When He says cause them to return to the land. He said He was going to bring them back, right?
Yeah.
So God, or sent His only begotten Son, who's going to, bring us back. So we know. Well, get the scripture, because we know that
That's nice though.
that well, you just got that scripture, didn't you?
Yeah.
To the time of
'Cause
Gentiles
it's-
be fulfilled. All right, now get the scripture with that. What is
Well,
the
that's
next one?
a big point,
That's a-
because even Christ is saying that the blasphemy that's going on in the earth right now, one of the grandiose blasphemies, is people calling themselves Jews and they're not. Like Christ condemns that. And this is why when you talk to Jewish people today, a lot of them don't believe in who the world really calls Christ, because Christ condemns them of being in the land and actually
Grab the
their
scripture.
statements to being a Jew.
Grab the scripture. What is that?
That's Revelations 3.
Oh, okay, I was thinking 10 for some reason.
So this is the book of and look at what he calls it. Look at what Christ calls it. So this is the book of Revelation chapter 3 and verse 9. It says, "Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them come and worship before your feet, and to know that I have loved you." So he calls people that are saying, calling themselves Jews and are not, they're the synagogue of Satan.
Get this
That's
property.
pretty.
That been going on a lot though lately.
Yeah, and this is why the Yehudim and Zionists are like heavily back. And this is how we know America is the beast, because the Bible doesn't say nowhere that Israel will be backed by one of the strongest countries on the planet. It says we will be poor, we will be trodden down, we'll be captives, we'll be at the lowest places of society, we'll be in impoverished neighborhoods. Not that we will be backed by a government that's giving us millions and millions of dollars to cascade Palestinian people, to cascade and starve them out, cut off their trade routes. It doesn't say that Israelites will be doing
They
this.
say that we would dwell in the land safely. So if people shooting rockets over the river, doing all this other mess, bombings, and people I got to fight every day, then that's not, obviously that hasn't come yet. It's just by default. We got a scripture.
That's just logic, bro. God is not the author of confusion.
Yeah.
Fuck. I got that from.
And then that's one of the biggest things that's going on. What we do out here is actually, like teach the truth. So if we know that what we do, we can't just go get some ARs and some shotguns and go shoot up synagogues. We're not like that. We're gonna come out here and just bring out the information and have, cordial conversations with people. Because the biggest thing is allowing people to see these conversations take place.
Yeah, fuck.
And a lot of the Yehudim and Zionists don't want to have those conversations. The fact that they were converts, that they started from John Hyrcanus at the time of the Hasmonean dynasty, when they were converting in. Basically, they were marrying Levite women, priestly women, And that's when you get, like, you ask a Jewish person, how are you a Jewish person?
okay.
What person today? They'll be like, oh, it's because of my mother. But when you read the Torah, it's actually through your father that you are a Jew. Because a
I
man,
didn't know that, bro.
Yeah, it's only through the father. So that's where the seed is, is counted.
Yeah.
That's where lineage goes from the father.
right?
The mother is more like the land, but the tree, the seed comes from the tree.
Right.
It's not from the land.
Makes sense. Makes 100%.
Just like how Yahweh does things, he like oftentimes refers a lot of things into nature that we can see. If you plant an orange tree in Jerusalem, or you plant it in damn Utah, it's always going to be an orange tree, letting you know wherever a man lays his seed, that's what it is. That's what that person is. You know what I'm saying? Because you can also see this in different references in the Bible where kings of Israel, like King Rehoboam, his mother was an Ammonitess, but his father was a Jew, and he was still called of the tribe of Judah, because your father passes down your inheritance of who you are. Not disannulling a woman's purpose in this world at all, because it says you do unto knowledge as her being the lesser vessel, and that is your missing rib. So you are to treat your wife with immense respect at the end of the day. Because think about it, Eve came from Adam's rib. He was missing a part of himself. He said it's not good that a man should be alone, so you should always reverence your wife in those ways, to do unto her that rightful intelligence.
That's what the Lord said. Can you get book of Daniel chapter 7, reading from verse 21?
Yeah.
21 and 22. 'Cause this is what's really coming right here.
Daniel 7?
Yep.
Told it the Levites were Haitian.
Yeah. And if you ever hear Levites, a large amount of them come from the Dahomey Empire and the Ashanti.
Yeah.
You ever heard of them?
Yeah, Ashanti warriors.
And if you look up certain pieces of the Ashanti culture, it literally says that they had things like the mercy seats. They wore
the
dresses
gold,
that had bells on them, and they had the gold seat. They had the gold seat.
Mhm.
Yeah. And guess
Yeah,
who
that's
was
true.
guess who was driving them out of the lands when they were there? And it might be harmful to say, but Ethiopians were basically telling the Ashanti to get out of their land. Yeah.
Because they're different people.
They're
We're
different
not
people.
the same.
We're
as
not the
them.
same people.
They're Hamites. We are not so-called Africans. We are Israelites.
Oh, yeah.
So this is why that big thing was going on with what is that woman called that she was saying she was of the tribe of David and she was Ethiopian? She said that the Queen of Sheba laid with Solomon. I forgot her name, but it's she was saying she was of the
I think Solomon did lay with some woman of the street.
Well, it didn't say that they had intercourse though.
That's
The Bible don't say it, but it does.
That's correct. The Bible
Yeah,
doesn't
it
say
doesn't
it.
say.
I do have a book that insinuates the similar thing.
Right.
It says that that she later returned the son to Solomon, to Israel, that's when he received his education, and then he went back and became a king there.
Yeah,
because
God always let people
So
study.
I should go into that, man, because I got a book that goes into that, but the Bible doesn't necessarily support it, nor does it actually come against it. It just doesn't really go into
they're
that.
It
fine.
says she just came down and got wisdom. I mean,
Yeah,
and when you look at it, a lot of people were coming to get wisdom from Solomon.
Yeah, exactly.
So was he laying with all of them?
But
Nah,
it would
Solomon was a principal man.
it
Yeah,
would
too
kind of
much
let you
wives,
know,
though.
okay, why they have such a they try to have an
like a
affiliation
zeal of
Jews,
Christianity.
being
Yeah.
Jews there.
And that's because I'm gonna just be honest with you.
Yeah,
People in the
really,
Western world, our information and our media is so propagandized and but when you talk to somebody from the world of Africa or in that world, they know way more information
Way
about
more.
these things.
Can I say something though? But at the same time, it does not mean that all the people that was within his kingdom would then be Jews. It would just be himself and his lineage,
Right.
Or if any Jews follows him there, or Israelite men follow him there, their lineage would be of Israelite stock. But everybody else in that kingdom would not make them Israelites, even though they would maybe be keeping the laws.
Right.
And then I think they passed a laws that Benjamin not supposed to get married too. That's wild too, bro.
That Benjamin what?
Ain't supposed to get married.
Get that.
It's in the scripture, bro. They call us ravenous wolves, bro.
That's because I know he's talking about the account where the Benjamites had
I don't know the history. Why though?
the Haitian the Levite woman, and then they gave her part. The man of the Levite man gave the parts and was like, look at what the Benjamites did, and he was going to cut Benjamin off. Yeah.
Okay.
But Yahweh showed favor to He said forgive them. Remember that story?
Yeah, I think
So I know what you're
When he
talking
chopped
about.
her up and sent her to all the
Yeah, they
different kingdoms.
chopped her up. It was like, look at what they did to my wife. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
But
man.
Yahweh forgave Benjamin for doing that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So-
That's still evil though. He's
It's
still
evil.
Yeah.
No, it's evil.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. He said they shouldn't marry. That there's something called in the text, and I'll let the brother bring it out. Prescribing text and then descriptive text. What you were reading was a descriptive text of like what the prophets were saying. They were like, "Hey, don't let these niggas marry nobody. We just gonna let them die." But Yahweh, but then Yahweh was like, y'all, my ways are above your ways.
Yeah, facts,
So
facts.
let Benjamin, do what he do.
Yeah.
So he forgave him. I'm not giving an excuse for sin.
Right,
It was
yeah,
wrong.
That's good that God forgave
But it
him,
was
though.
descriptive. It was descriptive text.
So at the same, so I was like I wasn't there, so I can't really say. But at the same time, if a good name means a lot. So if that man has a bad name, I wouldn't give my daughter to him to this day.
Yeah, that's what they were
you
doing,
know?
yeah.
I would go maybe another Benjamite down the block, who might have a better name than. But those that was doing that, hey man.
Yeah, how bad was them what then? Cause
Well, you get this
we
picture
wild
of-
out there in the road.
You gotta think, man. Benjamin was probably
He was doing
they were doing some. I think all of us were. Think of what goes on like with the dance hall and all of that. Think of like being back then where entertainment was a thing that was just like relatively done in the physicality. You had to dance, get out and dance, go to the plays. Now you get to sit down, watch TV, watch videos, but you actually had to get up and go do stuff. So Benjamin was probably still wilding out, man.
It got to me for them to be like, yo, them.
You get that
Yeah.
Daniel chapter 7 verse 21.
All right, this
22.
This is the book of the saint or prophet Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 21. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them.
So remember we're talking about America with those two horns and whatnot. Okay, keep going.
Verse 22. Until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High.
So what that's going into is the Ancient of Days coming, returning, and then judgment is given to the saints of the Most High. This is also being a judgment being given to you is referring to spiritual power. You have to have power over something in order to be able to judge over these people.
Facts.
So this isn't just going into just understanding, which he actually has already imparted to us, but it's going into that spiritual power that's going to be given unto them, those elect men, those what they call the 144,000, being able to pretty much do anything they want, fly, destroy